Hi guys, today we're going to be talking about how to counter the Rosalimo attack. This is for about 1,000 to 1,600 players who are going for an accelerated dragon with their bishop being kiddoed and their knight out, but they end up getting no open Sicilian, so no way to play it. It's going to come out of regular Sicilian, and then they just bring their bishop out, try to attack you. Here you can just, don't worry about them taking. The most common move is for them to take, and we're going to be getting that, but just play e6. Here's another little line you need to know. Castles. Bring your knight out. Most common move, rook e1. They want to kind of play for e5 here. Want to take some of our space. We can play a6, kick away the bishop. Bishop f1 is most common. People don't want to get attacked by all this. If you go to a4, you get trapped. If you go to c4, you get attacked and just push back. And they also don't want to close down this file for the rook. So we're going to go ahead and play d5, try to get a full center. They're going to take with your knight, so you don't get pinned here. d4, they try to take some of their own space. Just move your knight back. Bishop e3, most common move. Kind of defies this idea of keeping the rook open, but they have no more pawn to support here. That's the key reason. So, take on d4. Their knight's going to take. You can just play bishop to d7 to support this knight, just in case. Don't give yourself this isolated pawn. And then, knight to d2. Yeah. From here, just develop your pieces. Castle. I mean, white's already given up most of their first turn advantage. You can play e5, maybe. In the future, put more pressure on this knight. You can really do anything from this situation as long as you're not blundering. Yeah. Alright, so now let's go back to the main line. They're going to take. You're going to take it back with your b-pawn. Most common move is to castle. Here we want to strike the center. Take. And you're going to take. But there's this other line, second most common line, again, that you're going to need to know. d5. Some people are going to play d3. And they want to play this because if you take, and they take, now your queens are staring at each other. And if they take, you can't castle. If you take, they get a free open file. And it's also going to leave you with double isolated pawns if you take. So I'd highly recommend not taking. Instead, just play knight f6. They think they're going to be cool and push their pawn. Attack your knight. You go here, knight to d7. Yes, you're putting pressure on this pawn here. Rook e1, add some more defense. There's no real way you can win this pawn without taking like 3 moves to go ahead and attack it. Just play bishop e7, prepare to castle. c4, again trying to give you a double isolated pawn. Never give yourself this pawn structure. It just, if you get to an endgame, they can target this super easy, especially if they have a rook or a queen. And if they do have a rook or a queen, if they get this, that's definitely falling. Just castle, knight c3, and take an open file. Yeah, now you've got a lot of space, you got a lot of space here, and they're the one kind of struggling to break into your center. Eventually, you might play here, and after take, put your knight back here, then use this to create some sort of attack. But I don't know how you want to play it. It's your decision. So, back if they take, just take towards the center. Now you have this really, really nice full center. There's not too much they can do about it except for d4. Now, in the situation in d4, take, after knight takes because they don't want to bring their queen in the center. Even though we can't really attack it, most people play knight takes. Now, knight f6, bishop g5, pin our knight, h6. Alright, this is the last sideline here. So second most common move, bishop to h4. We just want to play bishop to c5. We're going to play here eventually to just try to force this rook to do a little dance. Knight c3, and that's knight f3. That's knight f3. Anyways, we go here, rook steps offside, then we can just castle, be comfortable. Knight to a4, just attack us. We can step back, queen to f3, try to add more pressure. They're threatening to double our pawns like the arrows show here, but if you think about it, they have no more queen after. They just have no more queen to attack us with, and there's no real problem other than these doubled pawns, but you can just jump. If they take this, you can just jump your bishops around the board. You have the bishop pair. I mean, like, almost immediately you can go here, like I said, and here. Just try to pressure these pawns. That's only if they trade, though. If they don't trade, don't go there. You're just losing a bishop. Rook c8. Then again, you can just go here, force the knight back, like the arrow shows, and take the pawn if they don't respond. But most common movers for them to take. Of course, we got to take it back, and we can do it this time without damaging their structure. We do have this pressure along this diagonal, but it's nothing much, because after knight c3, they kind of block everything. We can threaten to win the knight, which is what we are going to try to do. Knight c3, bishop here. Now we're hitting this knight. We're just really trying to kill this knight. We don't like it in the center. They're going to step back. Now, we play the same move as we did in that last line, bishop a6. Just force this rook to step aside. Rook e1 is what they play. Castle, just the same. It's very similar in these lines, except there's not as much tension, and this knight is not getting put pressure on or anything. We can already have our queen out. There's no real way for them to attack it, because these squares are occupied by pawns. a3. Prepping b4. We can just put our rook on the semi-open file, and they're going to play b4. Here, we have a really nice move to open up their king and win a pawn at the same time. We can play bishop takes. Now, the point with bishop takes is because king kind of has to take, and we get their knight. Now, what have we done by sacrificing the bishop for the knight pawn? Well, number one, their king is kind of out in the open. Number two, this pawn's a target. They're going to have to do something about it to defend it. Maybe not rook here, because that just loses that pawn for them. And that's a good thing to know, that that pawn's also a target. They could try to bring the rook up. You're just winning here, because number one, you're up a pawn. Number two, that bishop is actually going to stop anything they do with this rook. No bringing this rook, really. Only real move they have to defend this pawn is something like here. Try to defend it backwards. I don't know what to call it, but just, yeah, try to stop you. Also, that puts a knight in the center. Or they could just bring the rook up. There's no real threats they can make. You're the one that can command the game at this point. Yeah, like, you can put both your rooks on this open file, maybe double, target the pawn, attack the king if you want to. Or you can just go to an in-game and try to win the in-game. Sorry, there was a motorcycle outside my house. I don't know if you guys heard it. But, yeah. If you want the theory with White playing all their best moves, just leave a comment. If I get 10 comments asking for the theory, I'm definitely going to make a video. Maybe even, less than that. But, yeah. I hope you guys like the video. Subscribe, comment. Yeah. All the good stuff. See ya.